Hi, I'm Jake Swan, and I like this. This is way too close. What? Hi, I'm Jake Swan, and I like music. We're gonna give this another whirl. So I started filming, the light changed, the card started doing weird stuff. I don't understand. Whatever, we'll just dive into this review because I loved this album and I want to talk about it no matter what. If the light changes 100 million times, if it gets super dark, I apologize. If it gets super bright, sorry also. But the natural lighting is being very inconsistent and I can't compensate because I don't have the proper lighting equipment. So, let's do this. The album I will be reviewing is Wise Moh Lhean. At least that's how I'm pronouncing it. Don't know if that's correct. This is Wise' first album in 5 years. This is Wise' 5th studio album, and 5 is the number that comes after 4. Those are 3 facts about 5. The first song is This Ole King. The production on the whole album is just very consistent with their sound in general. It stays true to their previous work, and this song especially, it felt very classic Y to me. As soon as it came out as a single, I was hooked. It's just a super multi-faceted song, very dynamic, nice guitar tones. The instrumentation's very fresh. The percussive textures are very earthy, but they're still crisp. Awesome song. And the music video is really cool. If you get a chance to check that out, it's this 360 video, and it's the editing's unique, very unique. The second song, Proactive Evolution. I love the way that Yoni crafts the songs to blend one right to the next. It's never stale or cliche. There's no gimmicks, which is really easy to do if you're going into this from the perspective of an artist. You think, oh, I want to do that neat thing where one song goes to the next. There's ways of doing that in a cheap way. It's been done a million times before, but he doesn't do that. There's no parlor tricks, if you will. The backing vocals are very beautiful and ethereal. He has a very nice flow in the verses on this track. Really, throughout the whole album, we don't hear a hardened version of Yoni like in Alopecia or even like Mumps, etc. It's not really much like that on this album, which isn't a bad thing in my opinion, at least. The bouncy structure in the chorus is very nice. I'm on fire. And it's this, I just really enjoy it. The third track, Easy. Again, blend is super slick. And especially these 2 songs, it wins me over every time. I love the way it sounds. The piano just dances so gingerly in this track. It feels tremendous to listen to. It feels like this is the softening point of the album. I know it's only 3 songs in, but you think maybe he's working up to that hardened version of himself, but it's actually not really. I mean, maybe he's following a curve from like the previous work, dovetailing us in with 2 tracks that sound sort of like the old stuff, and then the third track it takes us somewhere else. Yoni has this way with his lyricism that you feel a sense of romance, but it's not in this like hokey, overdone way. It's not in a traditional way. I'm not trying to say that he's like George Harrison or something like that, but it's like this modern day 20-somethings that are just, you know, in love, and they're just kind of living day to day. Not really like a over glamorized sense of it. But there's like a sweetness in his voice, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't want that to sound too awkwardly sappy or anything, but that's just the feeling that I get from listening to it. I like how the first chorus ends with breathe in and out and go easy, and then the second chorus is I'll go anywhere easy. So it ties us to the title. The track comes to a close with a run-on, like acoustic plucking after the main portion of the song ends, and these distorted vocals pitched up, which seamlessly lead us to an applause, and then that goes right into track 4, January, February, March, which is a transitionary song into One Mississippi, with a build up to the melody, featuring more distorted vocals, but this time pitched down. And it's like sluggish. It's like January, and it like builds up to that, and then One Mississippi starts. Track 5, One Mississippi. More clever lyrics and the signature, unique percussion that Y always brings to the table. I especially love this thing where the chorus, in the chorus, the percussion, it sounds like a strum of either like the top string, or the top part of the strings, like beyond the nut of a guitar, or maybe it's like running your fingers along the like strings of a piano. Whatever it is, I just really like the way I captured it. It's got a nice texture to it. The reverb really lives in this song, and it kind of clings to the body of the song like this, like a smoke on like burning leaves. I know that sounds oddly specific, but if you've ever watched Burning Leaves, there's like the smoke clings in a certain way, almost like tighter to the smolder of the leaves, which that's how the reverb feels on this. It's very fluid, but it's very much a part of the song. And another highlight for me for the song was there's like this really charming whistling part in it. Track number 6, The Longing Is All. This is another transition song. This in January, February, March made the album feel almost like a score to me. Possibly a score for a movie that I think would be awesome. So someone should make that happen. But it's a short little instrumental, which then leads into track 7, George Washington. It's really witty how he references the previous track by name. He says I wrote a song called The Longing Is All. Yeah, kind of for me, it adds this level of cohesion, makes the album feel more a singular project rather than just a string of random songs. There's this feeling that the structure of the chorus gives me that I can't really put into words. I'm just very enamored by the part that at the tail end of the line where he goes, and push a little closer. It just, I don't know, it just feels very swingy or something. I can't put it into words, but if you give it a listen, you'll maybe see what I mean. The song really explodes with the electric guitar swell that comes in about midway to 3/4 through the song. Then it dies off, almost like the band was just rehearsing or something. It's like a sound check sort of dying off sound, which I enjoyed it. This album has an unpolished quality that makes it feel very organic, makes it feel very sincere. It's not overproduced. It's not ingenuine sounding at all. The 8th song is The Water. Tons of reverb again. The vocal production on the whole album is just so fresh for their sound, and it is new, but I like it. The song feels very personal and vulnerable, with lyrics like, I've tried in my way to make things right, and the outro is just repeating, I'm trying, as the music swells up a little bit. And yeah, it was just, it did feel vulnerable, but not in just a heartwarming way. It felt like he's saying something that, I don't know, maybe something happened, I guess, because he talks about his brother in the one of the verses. So, but anyway, song 9, track 9, Consequence of Non-Action. Yoni falls into goo for this tender song, and this is seriously one of my favorite songs of Y, period. One of my favorite lyrics was, I want to touch your pulse, but my favorite lyric, which possibly my favorite lyric on the album, is, you're all the way more beautiful than a photograph of you. It's a uniquely sappy song. I don't know, I just, wow, such a good song. That leads us to the last song, The Barely Blur, which incredibly, is the last song. This is a very quick album, not just in length, but the way it's presented. The songs aren't like fast by any means. There's quite a few really slow songs. It's like a nice like breeze, and you're like, oh, that was pleasant, but it's over, you know. So I've given this album quite a few listens because of how short it is. But anyhow, this last song, the Barely Blur, I found the instrumentation / chord structure interesting in this track because, at least from my perspective, it feels like where you think the chord, the next chord, last chord of the structure is gonna fall, it rises. So it gives like this interesting feeling. It works well with the song. They did a good job. It doesn't feel wrong that they did it. It just isn't like typical. It's a very relaxed song with a slight crescendo, and then it fades off into nothingness. I think it's a perfect closer. I love this album, and I know it's only like mid-March right now, but for me, so far, this is my favorite album of the year. I do have Granddaddy's album to review as well, but I love this album. I would give it a solid 8.9 out of 10, and a strong recommendation to listen to it. If you're not going to buy it, listen to it on Apple Music, Spotify. It's probably floating around on YouTube somewhere, at least a few of the songs. Definitely give this album a listen. I don't think you'll be disappointed. If you like nice tender songs with a unique texture. That's it. Bye.